Hi everyone. I woke up to a bunch of comments this morning from Joe Jackson, and I was pretty much told by Jenny Jones she doesn't want me coming in her group anymore. So I'm going to honor her request, no matter how much I want to respond to him in that group. He said I blocked him from the group that I help run, and I had nothing to do with that. I said, leave him, let him talk, let him say whatever he wants. And Joe Jackson, yeah, what happened is this. I have never been involved in politics a day in my life, and I never knew how dirty it was. I found out firsthand how horrible it is. And I didn't think it was like this, and I'm understanding it's not like this bad in other cities. Um, and you said my behavior is erratic. My behavior is based on the fact that I have self-worth, and and to be told ridiculous things and screamed at when we're in council meetings, to me that demonstrates, first of all, Robert's rules orders you were screaming and carrying on, and you should have been removed. You shouldn't have been allowed to act like that. And you all, to me, not being able to communicate with others and always thinking you're right and not being able to listen from others' perspectives, that's a classic sign of that you shouldn't be on council. And then you said that these people were not qualified to go to police academy. If they weren't qualified, why did Detroit send one and why did Romulus send the other? You say I am on the wrong side and I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go at it from this way. I personally believe you have a trouble with women in general. Two of the city clerks quit. The city longtime secretary to the mayor and to the council was reduced from full time to part time, and you felt like it was your duty to go in there like 2 days before you voted and to scream and holler and carry on. And everybody down the hallway heard you. So you can say whatever you want. And then finally, there's the issue with the mayor. You're constantly on her ass. It doesn't matter what response you get, she does, or she can do the most amazing thing, and you will find a way to say it is wrong. You, to me, in my opinion, you should be recalled. And your decisions is always the right decisions. Really, that's the problem here. Um, None of you listen to any of your other the people you who put you in that office, and thank God this seat doesn't isn't more than 4 years. And and to say that I wasn't knowledgeable, way back in the middle of the summer, yes, I wasn't knowledgeable. I didn't have a clue. All I saw when I came in there was the screaming and the hollering and the boys picking on one woman. Um, it's like the good old boys club. And, if I would defend anybody in that position, what's going on, it is, to me, Marcy Wheeler is like throwing a tantrum, like a big boy throwing a tantrum because he lost, and he's publicly ridiculing the mayor because he's a sore loser. Instead of working with her and trying to make this all work, and you guys brought him back on, all it has been for the last year that I could see is constant turmoil, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's like you're attacking me, constantly attacking me. I have all kinds of ideas how to fix it. Instead of fixing it and, responding to my suggestions, you're responding to my inexperience and my shock and dismay, how dysfunctional this is. My response was, oh, I'm not going to put up with this. And that's the reason why, what my response was at first. I was really, really shocked that this behavior is allowed in any job, because I always worked in hospitals. And if I sat and did what you're doing, and if I did this to my supervisor, I would be fired, straight out and simple. But because this is a city, this behavior is allowed. So that's where I'm coming from. Yeah, I didn't think it was for me. You're right. But you know what? Since then, since I understand this is how you operate and how Marcy operates, and you guys love turmoil and love fighting and making everybody look bad, yes, you could. I started deciding, oh, I'm going to speak up. And when I speak up, I write papers, documentation to clarify what I'm saying, but you're telling me I'm wrong. So, that's fine. Yes, I have to work on this, because you know why? It's like, if I was your supervisor, you would have been fired. That's my job, and that's my job that I used to have. And you're insubordinate, and you would have been written up and gone. And you keep talking about my commission. My commission ended, and I knew exactly what you are about. And I chose not to accept another appointment, because I knew that you would do to me exactly what you did to Karen, somebody that's been on commissions for years and years and was a commission head. You guys do retaliation, not what's best for the city who can do the job. And believe me, I had so many ideas. I could have brought so many programs here, and you guys just don't want them. You don't want a successful Parks and Rec program. You guys clearly demonstrate it. And the city administrator, he had no interest in the farmers market, for one. He has no interest in putting our city online. Oh my God, how many times I tried to call him about that, to become modernized. And my next question is why? Why doesn't he want our city to be modernized? Why does the pool have to be cash? Why does the city, rentals have to be cash? Why isn't he giving the mayor the budgets? Why isn't he letting her know the financial situation of the city? And yeah, you guys get accounts receivable and payable statements, but you guys aren't seeing the paperwork that actually goes with it. There's so many whys here. So go ahead and tag me as a person in my shock about how the city runs and how dysfunctional it is. And my first response to this was, yeah, it's not for me. And you know why? Because this shouldn't be allowed. And then I looked at how you guys treat women. And then I said, you know what? I'm not backing down. And I made it easier for myself not being on the commission, so I don't have to be treated the way you're treating Nicole. Like I told you, I'm a whole different cup of tea, and you're talking to somebody who is very educated and has been out there in different jobs. And what I used to do, even at one time, is I used to do temp jobs. I'd like the constant going from job to job and fixing things and then moving on. And then I see this with this city, and you just think you're right, and that's what's funny. And then the city attorney going online saying, oh, this is all the mayor's fault, when it's a classic case of dysfunction within the city, poor management, poor advisement, poor everything. Because this is not a 2-year problem. It goes back years. And since 2017, we've had multiple problems. It's just you guys are not giving the ability to this mayor to lead from day one, because Marcy lost and you ran with him. She was working under a different mayor, and no one ever complained about her. They worked as a team, and just because she came here, you guys had a problem with her. You guys just don't like women in leadership roles and women who like to speak up. You want to shut us down. Well, Joe, you sit there and tell me that you want to shut me down. That doesn't work. You're going to make, and yeah, I won't respond to you anymore on that page. And I want to be clear, I didn't block you on anything, so have a good one.